Hey guys, and welcome back to the Law of Attraction Tribe podcast. I'm your host, Stephanie Keith, and I want to welcome all the new people to the podcast. It looks like we've gotten a lot of new downloads lately. So if you're new here, welcome. And for those of you who have been around since the beginning, thank you for sticking around. So for those of you that are new, you should probably know that when I record a podcast, I don't pre-plan anything. I don't write out show notes. I don't have a schedule. I don't bulk record or batch record or anything like that. I go off of my intuition. And so how this works is I will get a download typically while I'm outside for a walk of something that is just on my heart that I need to talk to you guys about. And I've been doing this since the beginning, and every single time without fail, I will get messages from you guys saying that that was exactly what you needed to hear. Like it was made specifically for you. And I really think it was. I think I get these, intuitive hits for a reason, and someone out there needs to hear it. And so I'm going to do the same thing like always today with just kind of talking about starting a business and all of the excuses, the fears, the doubts, the uncertainties that come along with that. Because now that I've been doing this for a few years, I come across so many people that really want to create a life of freedom. They really dislike their job, their schedule, maybe their parents, and they're tired of sending their kids to daycare and having to use vacation days to go to school activities or, be there when their kids are sick. And it's like this desperation to leave, but this expectation that it's just going to happen instantaneously and quickly and come super easy without any effort whatsoever. And then when that doesn't happen right away, that's when the excuses start of all the reasons why you can't do it, you shouldn't do it, it's too risky. So I want to kind of talk about that and how to reframe a lot of the stuff that comes up and just look at it from a different perspective. So when I had the realization, when I knew for a fact that I did not want to be in the corporate world anymore, I didn't want to work for anyone else anymore. I wanted to be my own boss. I wanted to make my own schedule. And really the driving factor of all of that was being able to be more present as a mom, being able to be the mom that, picks up my kids from the car line instead of sending them to before school and after school care. And, when I was in my corporate job, I was I filled with guilt every single day, mom guilt about not being able to be there. I felt like my whole life, I was just every second of every day rushing. I could never catch up. There was never enough time to do it all. The weekends were spent cleaning and grocery shopping, and it's like there just was never enough time to just be, to just live and enjoy life. And I'm sure that a lot of you guys feel that way because that's the way our society's set up, and that's the way we're told it just is, and that it should be. And I completely disagree with that. I completely disagree with that. I don't think that's how things should be. I think there's another way. I think there's a better way. But some people just aren't ready for that, and that's okay. But if you are ready for that, I want to go over some of these common things. So the very first thing is you're going to have all of these fears of what if I fail? What if I try and I'm not successful? And you're going to get people in your life that are going to say the same thing. A lot of people. And most of the people that are going to say this, well, really all of the people that are going to say this are people you shouldn't be taking advice from because they're not doing it. They didn't go and start a successful business. So why would you listen to them? So they're going to have those fears and doubts for you because of their limiting beliefs, and they're going to, put that on you. And so the way that I looked at it is I am going to be successful because I have to be. And I'm just going to keep trying and I'm not going to give up until I succeed, because the alternative is going back to a job that I hate, that gives me anxiety, that, leaves me feeling just drained and like to the point where I just can't enjoy my life. And that is a lot more painful than going through the work and the fear and the doubt of starting my business. Like, that's the way I looked at it. And when I left on maternity leave, when I had Amelia, my second daughter, I just kept saying over and over again, like, it will work out because I don't have another choice. Like, I made the very clear decision that I was not going back. I just wasn't. That wasn't even an option, wasn't even on the table. And when you have that mindset, you would be amazed at how many things you can overcome. Because when you're not even giving that option, you will automatically, like your subconscious will automatically look for solutions to any problem that you have. It will automatically calm a lot of those fears and doubts because you're making a decision. Like, if you're constantly telling yourself, like, no, I will be successful because I don't have another option, like, I absolutely am going to keep going until I succeed, then your subconscious is going to take that as fact, as truth. And so it's going to quiet a lot of those limiting beliefs that keep coming up. And the other thing was, when people would give that like fear and doubt, I would ask myself, did this person ever try it and succeed at it? If the answer is no, then I am not going to take their advice. Like, why would you take advice from someone who didn't actually achieve it? So I would actually use that as like fuel to be like, well, I'm going to prove you wrong. Like, just because you told me I can't, now I'm going to go and really do it because I want to be able to tell you that I did. So that was kind of how I handled that objection. I think that's like a very big one. So the key takeaway point with that is, don't even put the option of failing on the table. Like, you have to make a decision. You have to decide, is this what I really want or is it not? And if there's any wavering and you're like, I'm not really sure, then the very first sign of something being difficult or hard, like any bump in the road, is going to completely derail you and you're going to give up. Like, you have to start with this unwavering faith that you will be successful no matter what. And when you do that, you'll be amazed at how many obstacles will clear out of the way. So like, literally decide it, say it, write it, whatever you need to do to make that decision and to take failure completely off the table. The other thing I get, and oh my gosh, I get this like pretty much every day, where people will reach out to me and they'll say, well, I just don't know what I would do. Or I just don't know how. I just don't know how it would work out. I don't know enough about it. And I don't even waste my time. I don't even waste my time talking to people like that, because number one, like, if you don't even know what you would want to do, well, then you've got a lot of soul searching to do. You know what I mean? Like, you got to find that thing that really lights you up, that thing that you love talking about, the thing that you love doing, and like, go after that and know what that is before you even think about, starting a business. But I think what a lot of people do is they just think like, well, I just want to start a business, but there's no like purpose behind it. There's no intention behind it. Or they think like, well, I'm just going to do this because this sounds like a good idea. You have to pick something that you love talking about, something that you could talk about for hours, something that really, truly excites you, lights you up, that you love learning about. Because if you don't, you're going to get bored really quickly and it's going to feel a lot harder than it needs to be. So if you're at that stage where you just don't know what you would do, well, then that's where you need to start doing that soul searching and start trying different things, like looking at what's out there, looking at what piques your interest, and then go from there. And when someone says like, well, I don't know how to do that, I'm not good with tech. I don't know how to start a podcast. I wouldn't even know where to start. Or like, I don't know how to start an app, or I don't know how to post on social media. I don't know how to make TikToks or Reels. That is not an excuse. Like, you don't know is not an excuse. Like, go find out. Like what I did when I started the Instagram page way back when, I loved looking at other pages that posted quotes about the law of attraction. I had no idea how to do that. So you know what I did? I went on YouTube and I said, how do I make a Instagram quote? And I watched a video and I learned like literally everything you could possibly want to know is out there. And it's not that hard to find the answer. But again, if it's something that you don't truly want, or you're wavering, like you're thinking, well, I might start a business, I might dabble in this, then yeah, like you're not going to know and you're not going to have the motivation to figure it out. So it like, again, it goes back to the mindset and back to that deciding that I'm going to do whatever it takes to make this work. And that includes figuring a lot of stuff out. So if you want to start a business, if you don't want to work in the 9 to 5 grind, you have to be resourceful and you have to figure things out. And there's a lot of resources out there. You can learn from someone who already did it. You can go on YouTube. You can Google it. Like there's so many different options, but you have to be willing to learn a lot of things and figure things out. And it's not that hard. Our mindset is going to make it hard if we don't have that commitment that we're going to be successful and we're going to do something we love. The next thing is like, it's too hard. That's too hard. That seems like so much work. I'm like, that one gets me too. Like, I don't even respond to that because it's also hard and it's also a lot of work to go work for someone else 40 hours a week. Like that's hard. That's a lot of work. You know what I mean? But like people will not even want to spend like an hour a week on building their business. Meanwhile, they're spending 40 hours a week in a job that they hate, which is harder. You know what I mean? So you have to like stop treating it like a hobby and start treating it like it's going to be your full-time income and put in the work. And for me, working for someone else is always harder. It is always harder because you have no say. You're always answering to someone else. You're always at the mercy of someone else. You're always dependent on someone else, whether that's your boss or your company or your coworkers or the shareholders. Like you don't have control over it. And to me, like that was so much harder. To me, like putting my kids in daycare so that I could go and work Monday through Friday and then only having the weekends and vacation days to like take care of things, that seems like hard work. And so when you look at it from that perspective, like spending a few hours a week on building your business isn't really that hard. You just don't have it as a top priority. And so for me, I was willing to put in a lot of the hard work knowing that this is going to get me out of this other hard work that I really don't want to do. So it's like you kind of have to pick which do you want to deal with? Do you want to deal with running a business, which, yeah, like it's going to be hard. It's going to be, there's going to be things you have to learn and time that you have to put into it. But would you rather that or would you rather work for someone else where they tell you how much they're going to pay you? They tell you how many hours you're going to work, when you're allowed to take a lunch break, when you're allowed to go to the bathroom, when you're allowed to take a vacation day. Like to me, that is the ultimate like hard sacrifice that I don't want to do. And so I'm willing to put in the hard work with my business so that I don't have to deal with that. The other one, there's too many people doing it. The market is too saturated with whatever you want to do. And for me, like that is a sign right there that, well, there must be a lot of people making money at it and a lot of proof out there that it's successful. Otherwise, all of these people wouldn't be doing it. So you can look at it as like, oh, there's too many people doing it. Or you could look at it as like, wow, this is an example. This is proof that this is a popular thing that a lot of people want, a lot of people are doing, and a lot of people are successful at. And then you start looking at it as like, well, of all the people out there that are doing it, what are the things that make me cringe? What are the things that I disagree with? What are the things that I don't like that they're teaching? And that is going to help you figure out how you can stand out in that market. And this kind of goes along with it, but it's like the other thing is like, well, what if someone steals my idea? What if someone copies me? And I had someone tell me one time, like, they didn't want to make a course because someone could steal it and like sell it and pass it off as their own. And I'm like, you're really going to not do something that could be the thing that helps you have financial freedom because of the possibility that someone somewhere could steal it. Like, that is absurd. That is some major subconscious beliefs sabotaging you. You're sabotaging yourself. And yeah, like, there are going to be people that copy. There are going to be people that steal. Like, that is just the way it is with the online world. But the way I look at it is, number one, that's the highest form of flattery when someone's copying. And number two, no one can be you. People are going to come to you because they like you, they trust you, they know you. Like, there's going to be people that gravitate towards you specifically. So even if someone were to copy everything, it doesn't mean they're going to be successful, and it doesn't mean it's going to hurt you whatsoever. Like, your people are going to come to you. They're not going to go to some random person that copies you. And the other thing is, like, you can waste your time worrying about it, or you could waste your time building it and making money off of it. And it's like, for every second that you worry that something might happen, you're like manifesting that. You're calling that into existence by constantly like just thinking about it and worrying about it. Instead, start worrying about how you can be successful and how you can provide like the best course or whatever, the best service, the best product out there. So it's like, if that's the thing that you're going to focus on, then you shouldn't be a business owner. Like, then go work in a 9-to-5 job, because it's a silly thing to even think about or get upset about, because you really have no control over that. So like, why let it bother you? And the more you ruminate about it, the more you're calling it in and attracting it to you. And I think that's like all of the things that I wrote down. So I think that covers like what 99% of messages, emails, DMs are that I get. It's like, I don't know what I would do. I don't even know where I would start. Okay, well, it's good. Like, that's a good start, because you want to leave your day job, you want to start a business. So that is a start. Now you go on that journey of figuring out what your purpose is and figuring out what you're drawn to, what lights you up. I can't figure that out for you. No one can figure that out for you. And you don't want anyone else to figure it out for you, because only you know that. Only you can answer that. And if it's something that isn't truly like deeply within you, it's going to be hard. It's going to be a lot harder. It's going to be a lot more frustrating. You really want to pick something that you're passionate about, something that gives you meaning and purpose. And then again, like, I don't even know how to do it or where I would start. Okay, like, you don't have to know. You just have to be willing to figure it out. So find someone out there who has already achieved it and see what they're offering, or go on YouTube or go on Google. Like, just start getting curious and start seeking the answers, and you'll find them. There's a solution to everything, and you can learn anything, literally anything. And so with that being said, I am in the process of building another course. Now, this course is going to be around getting started in your business. It's going to be my whole system on how I have created passive income in my business to where I make sales 24/7. My business runs 24/7, whether I'm asleep, whether I'm on vacation, whether I'm sick, it's still running and generating income. And this is all going to be centered around low ticket offers as well, because the other thing is there's so many money mindset beliefs that really can get in the way of like jumping right into high ticket coaching or courses or things like that. And so if you start with lower ticket items, it really helps to build up your money mindset rather than going from nothing to like $1,000 course. So it's going to be centered around like how I take these low ticket offers and have them generate 5 figures every month on autopilot without really any extra work from me. So like I build it, I put the system in place, and then I rinse and repeat. I let it run. So that's what I'm going to be teaching in this course. So if you're interested in that, whether you're getting ready to start a business, whether you have a business and you're just not getting past $10,000 a month, or you just don't have a good system, like you're putting in a ton of time and you're not seeing a lot of results, this would be the program for you. So I am going to be accepting a small group of beta testers to come in, take the program, give me some feedback. If you're interested in that, go to the link in the show notes, or you can go to the lawofattractiontribe.com/sign up and put your name on the beta waitlist, and I will let you know if you're accepted as a beta tester. If you are, you get first access to the course and you get a massive discount. So if it's something that you think you might be interested in, now would be the time to do that. And then when it's open to the public for everyone, I'll let you guys know. And in the meantime, keep sending me your questions on what's holding you back. And hopefully this will help you get through some of the mindset blocks that are holding you back and keeping you from building a life of freedom, because it's totally possible. And most likely you're the one that's sabotaging yourself with these limiting beliefs. And so if you can reframe them and just get going, that's half the battle. All right. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I'll see you back here next week.